Hello YouTube and welcome to a little bit of a spooky Symphogear Friday. Back here again with Symphogear Axis episode 9 of course. We're keeping the vibes a little bit low because it's a nighttime recording session, which I almost never do. So my schedule on Fridays, at least 1 week out of the two, has turned pretty sour. It's a genuine like 8 to 5, which is, very hard to record. I'm still going to make the effort and record something this week, but we may need to reassess my recording schedule with this new roster that I'm on. So we'll see what happens there. As a result, I know that there's a lot of people wanting me to do two this week. 10's probably a pop-off episode if I had to guess. It's only going to be the one, unfortunately. Only episode 9, and then we'll make it up somewhere along the way. Maybe try to do 2 and 2 to finish. Does that work? 10, 11, 12, 13? Yeah, 2 and 2 to finish, maybe. But then I got to do OVAs. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. For now, I'll get up the YouTube comments and have a little bit of a look what you guys thought about episodes 7 and 8. So unfortunately, first comment here, Phantom Vaporeon. Hope next week is a double episode mainly because of what happens in episode 10. Unfortunately not. We're going to need to wait one additional week. Yeah, it sucks, but we're going to try to rectify things next week. It's unfortunate. It really is. Next comment here by Bonnie. Episode 7 and episode 8 thoughts a little bit further on. Yep, so we're splitting them up like that. This is the weakest episode of AXZ for me, mostly because it feels like it's somewhat filler. Mostly the fights just fill in time before the real showdown, hence why they keep teleporting away for no reason, just real low stakes conflict. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't great. It was fine. It was okay. I mean, if that's the worst it gets, then I mean, we're sitting pretty. You know what I mean? A lot of what I've been told about this season is that it gets better as you go on. So again, I'm holding on for these last few episodes really to hit them high notes, hit that Symphogear climax like we do almost every time. The music mixing was a bit odd at times, like how we start Tsubasa's song that it's cut off by another track. I think that's just because you've gotten like knocked out. I didn't notice anything particularly odd other than that. Maybe. I don't know. Again, I wasn't paying a lot of attention to the music. It's normally very, very good though. The fight with Kurabe and the two alchemists feels a little bit kind of dulled when you realize that you've seen this fight previously in the show already in a better executed matchup in Bonnie's opinion. At least we got a great chunk of Miku backstory to make up for it. This was definitely the highlight of the episode, IMO, and probably not what saved it, but what I'm going to hold on to going forward. Just some really, really genuinely good character slice of lifey coupley stuff. It's really, really good. Shirabe getting knocked the frick out, Hibiki stopping her fist before striking Sanjaman, call back to a little bit of Fine stuff from season 1 maybe, so that's pretty cool. So showing a little bit of progression over that time, that she's going for this option earlier than what has happened in the past. Yeah, and Adam's a little bit of a D-bag fedora wearing punchable so-and-so. Not that I'm complaining, though I kind of love it. In the middle of these two comments, we have Vitaly Kuzmin with a bunch of time codes again, which is always good. The full stone coming from Hibiki's body just makes perfect sense. It does. I bought it hook, line, and sinker. You don't need to explain that to me more than once. It just works, you know? Oh, hey, this is the exact amount of fanfiction I've read. I'm guessing this is when Genjiro, wheels in the giant pile of books. This was a great moment, too. Cagliostro yelling out, I'm going to show you how powerful a girl's charm can be in a manly voice. I think there's a comment later that is something I probably should have clued onto or talked about, is that, well, with the VA choice and all this talk about a perfect body and changing body potentially, that I don't know, potentially some transgender stuff going on, like used to be a man, now in woman's body. I don't know, something. I think that there's a comment later that goes into a little bit more that I'll dive into. AXZ hitting those peaks now. Yeah, just if we're going to keep doing duets are awesome. I love duets. The gay is the most powerful force in the show, and it will take lives every single time. Cagliostro's got hands. She's got that Ippo shit going on. She's got the, it's pretty cool. Chris screaming, that's great. I love Chris screaming. Maria Chris is just a great combo. This is the tried and true anime tradition of putting just like the two coolest characters together. I don't know. They did it with Tsubasa and Maria as well. I don't know. Maria's just cool. and whoever she's with is cool. And now this is what excites me, right? With all these unison possibilities, this is the real start of our season, you know? And yeah, with all this talk about the future, and kind of the combination between Murray and Chris's themes a little bit, ED is called Futurism, makes a lot of sense. I like that we have Tsubasa, Hibiki, and Maria performing the vital duty of underwater vacuuming while, you know, the rest fight the bad guys. That's kind of funny. It's a convenience to make sure that Kirika and Shirabe have a pop-off moment, which I'm not against. It's just a little bit funny when you mention it like that. And yeah, duet's good. Everybody's duet's good. Everybody should get a duet. Like, you get a duet, you get a duet, you get a duet, you know? That's what should happen. That comment was by M. Marsh, if I didn't say. I forgot if I did. Trials to the Plus, next comment here. This is where the season picks up. So yeah, again, lots of people mentioning it. And yeah, we go into the unison songs and drawing parallels between characters through duets, right? I feel like this has been a missed opportunity so far for Symphogear, and if they're going to continue to pursue something like this, then that's just awesome. That's what I'm really liking about Revue Starlight in comparison at the moment, right? Is that we have the Symphogears are rarely fighting other Symphogears, really, like in the grand scheme of things. There's Put it this way, there's never really a song where it's a song that's, you know, one side conflicting with another, right? Where Revue Starlight has that basically every like second episode, based on what I've seen, where we get a song where each party gets to have their say. And I think in true Symphogear fashion, if we unite our ideals and our hearts and our hands and all these other metaphors we have going on, we should unite our songs as well and sing about the same things. It's just works, you know? So shared theme of growing from the pain. So yeah, you can see that for Mario, you can see that for Chris, for sure. If it weren't for the noise, Genjiro could just one-shot the series' main villain. Probably, yeah. I mean, that's what's keeping him in check, I guess. Yeah, this is the comment that talks about it. First, we're talking about Cagliostro's boxing style. Yeah, again, the fights and animation, that side of it has been really top notch this season, so shout outs to that. And I forget that Cagliostro like died. She's like exploded. She's like gone. But yeah, here's what I was talking about before. Sanjaman gave them perfect bodies, and there's some subtext here where Cagliostro originally had a male body and was given their current one after joining Sanjaman. And thinking based on personality, casting choice, direction, it's all adding up, you know? I don't know, I definitely see it for sure. Next comment here by Bamps. My favorite part of AXZ is the baddies teleport away thing. Has a lot more reason to it. In episode 4, it was because Cagliostro was outnumbered and didn't have the robe yet. Then Hibiki shakes Sanjaman with her working together talk no jutsu, and that conversation is interrupted by a nuke. And then, episode 7, it's working. Hibiki tried talking, she pulls that punch, Sanjaman shook. And yeah, we can stay, we have the upper hand in that fight, we can stay, we can fight. But Sanjaman leaves, like, you know, because she's questioning herself. That's the difference, you know? And then, yeah, just adding off that comment from last week talking about the gacha game, right? Edgy Hibiki from the gacha game is like the result of Hibiki having nobody to turn to during this dark portion of her life. Like, she had no Miku. Like, and then she turns into edgy Hibiki. That's just perfect. How fan servicey, how awesome. That's just great. Next comment here by Jammed. Symphogear AXZ definitely feels like it should rely less on reality and real-world stuff, you know? If they would just stick to the surreal, it would definitely make it feel more explorative. Keep it coming. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, AXZ has had some great moments that it's suspending disbelief. Like, I'm thinking the intro, I'm thinking, like, everything that's just kept it kind of batshit insane while the plot's getting started. I think that's quite good. I don't know. I still like the real world stuff. I still like that it's at least kind of grounded still. I don't know. It's still got a world and a people and something that I recognize similar to my own, and then I can, you know, put myself into it a little bit more. I don't know. I don't think drop it completely is my point, but the goofy stuff is goofy and really good. And yeah, Kasog for comment again to finish off. It is very long. I do this joke every week. So shoutouts to Arcana 00, that being that of the Fool, and then we could put the rest together, right? Like Full Stone, Hibiki, it just makes sense, right? But again, if we're talking about the Arcana stuff, connotations of great or limitless potential, youth, and innocence, someone who will be shaped by things to come. This is only the beginning, potentially. You are only a fool. I don't know. Sure, it's not relevant. There's a whole lot of architecture in that moon. I mean, I've been saying it from like basically season 2, right? There's stuff going on up there, right? Lunar ruins, something like that. Anyway, Sanjaman just starts shooting people. True. Kirabe just got like destroyed again. Yep. Until the end of the episode where they don't. But I like them getting hit by the big old ball. That's very good off the kendama. Sanjaman's getting talk no jutsu, of course. Elf 9 needs better labor laws. True. So yep, shedding at the Hibimiku stuff in the middle of episode 7 as well. The backstory is always good, but it's in the details as well, right? They're cleaning up together after dinner. The matching PJs, the comfy atmosphere, they're talking with each other face to face, not keeping secrets. Think back to season 1, that was a big problem there, of course. And we had this thing about the piano, right? The piano which goes with the singing, and I should put a pin in it for future stuff. So piano will come back in some form. Piano will return in Endgame. Adam's a little piece of shit. True. Very, very true. And this here's all great, right? You can justify the full stone, right? But I kind of like it as kind of just a goofy thing that happens. Like, hey, remember that random thing that happened way back in the day in G? It's actually super important to solving our major issue with Ignite mode this arc. So I don't know. Just go with it, and I just went with it, and that's what Symphogear is about a little bit. But it's great that you can explain stuff like this too. It works both ways. Maria loves driving random vehicles, of course, as well, as we're finding out as we continue the show. And yeah, all of Kirika and Shirabe's songs are written with the intent of being sung solo as well as a duet. So they're always going to do that thing that they did in G and then did again in GX, and then it's great. It's really, really good. Thank you for keep doing this. I'm happy that it exists. And yeah, as we continue to do our duets, a lot of the themes of the show are becoming more clear. Singing together, uniting, miracles, like loads and loads of stuff. Like power increases from this, tangible. We win because of this. This is something we should look into as we continue. And the perfectly legible Zababa Sun plus Moon Extreme Beta style. It's totally legible, for sure. We start episode 8 with some good Kirika noises, as well as Shirabe throwing in a little G there. And it's time to train. Train with Genjiro. Movie powers. We need to unite. We need to, work together. Cooperation is key, as I said last week. And yeah, as I said before, we're excited for the parallels that we're going to draw between these duets. What are they singing about? How these two characters and their themes thus far in the show connecting. We didn't really get to hear what Chris was going to say after that heartfelt conversation with Sonia and Co. But at least we got the bit after it about, what was it? Standing on your own, like I'm standing on my new leg. What about you? What are you doing, Chris? Absolutely valid to call out the animation here. It's really, really good. It is good. Thank you. We have Ippo Kugs, who's just gone crazy. Beams are boring. Punches are god. Godlike. It's been a hot minute, but Chris does have a mouth on her. She did swear a lot in season 1. I seem to have forgotten that. And yeah, Change the Future is both the song and attack, and it's really, really good. And it's the highlight moment of that episode, I think. Episode 8, for sure. And uses that little cross that Maria has in all of her attacks, of course, because it's both a Maria and Chris song. And yeah, that's it for the YouTube comments. Not much to talk about to jump off of. I guess Cagliostro is dead. They're going to sacrifice a unconscious Prelati against Sanjaman's will, which is very, very bad. And Tiki and Adam are being annoying and evil, which is good. We love that out of a Symphogear villain at this point. All the girls they got powered up. We're singing duets. We're working together. There's still that lingering Genjiro Kamakura dad stuff, Fudo going on, which we need to look into. I wonder if that's going to be a this season or next season thing at this point. We have the lunar ruins, of course, that we may or may not be ascending to at some point. I don't know. And yeah, Chris's stuff seemingly is resolved, so we don't really have much else besides Hibiki telling Sanjaman not to fight, or that side of the plot, I guess, from the main character, and also give Elf9 a holiday. I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that I'm going to do my show stuff. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I can do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you would like me to follow you back. And the Discord, join Discord. Love Discord, 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 Discord. And yeah, jumping into episode 9 of Symphogear AXZ right now. Rightio, got episode 9 up here ready to go. Let me pop that up there. 23 minutes and 40 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly. As always, picture-in-picture version in the description below, and using the D-Truck subs, of course. Just going to give it a 3, 2, 1. Rightio? 3, 2, 1, go. What are you apologizing for? Excuse me? Oh, so there's still a lot of recoil or something? She loves a good head pat, though. Okay, now we're training? Like, no singing at all is weird. Okay, match your breath with me. Okay, well, that's no good. Yeah, because you two are in sync. For reasons. Okay, I think what I implied from that first scene is that their gears are in maintenance because of the kind of recoil from the fight that they just did, right? Interesting. So it's not quite there yet. Right, gotcha. Okay. Hello, mysterious thing floating in front of the moon. Look at all these damn characters. This opening's cool. It's actually pretty well timed and stuff. The absolute like anime bullshit of it all is very, very good. I enjoy. I rate highly. It is disappointing that I can't watch 2 today, because I would like to see what they're talking about with episode 10, but we'll keep that in the kit bag. We'll keep that for later. Okay. I love it when she like wheels around. He's cool. How did he teleport? He's just a ninja. Okay. Excuse me? It's very violent. Make an example of him. Oh, he loves One Piece. Are we gonna get a song? This seems like a build up to a song. Love a good bit of genocide, as always. Ooh, the interruption there in the song. Teleports behind you. Gay lyrics, as always. No, that's not how working together works. Oh my god, we killed Ogawa. Gotcha. Imagine like screenshotting Ogawa's fucking dead. Oh no. Killed by Shirabe. I thought I murdered him. How so? Lacking in confidence? Trying to be all things to everybody? I don't know. Poor Shirabe. Shirabe always gets the kind of raw end of the deal, feels like. Hello, Yatsuhiro. Okay, is this the continuation of the Fudo stuff? About the ley lines? Yeah. Good old Divine Gate. Sure. Well, that's God. Okay, whatever you say. Are we going to do something fun? I mean, we're on the car. We're going to a shrine. Okay. Okay. Just eating like a bag of potato chips. Sure. Give her a chip, she'll feel better. Ooh, they look younger. Well, obviously. It's a flashback. What do you mean now? Oh, I see. Okay. Um. Oh. So there's probably some Japanese stuff there. Thank you. Thank you for being nice. What? What a weird thing to say. Doesn't want to. I guess there's not enough seats in the car. Okay. No, but I don't think she's in the mood. So, yeah, she's a little bit down. You read the room. Come on. What are we doing? What is happening? What was that? We're shooting a beam out of its mouth. Oh, Maria loves it. Who the fuck are you? Who the hell is this guy? Okay, sure. What? What a random thing to say. That's terrible. Okay. Thank you, random old man. What are you talking about? Does it? You're being weird. This guy's a freak. I guess that worked. I mean, I know more about you now. Not at all. Please enlighten me. Oh, this music. I like this song. Okay. Gods, huh? Yeah, it does. Like a lot. Even that kind of structure looks like a gate. Has Hibiki even had a line this episode? Is that her first line? She's hungry. The beast within me. I want a bit of quiche. Okay. Yeah. What a weird thing to say. Just go get him like KFC or something. Okay. Evil team. Oh, she's up and about. Okay. Did you just pour a glass of milk? What is happening? Oh, you poured it. Okay. You poured a glass for your friend, your fallen comrade. Oh, okay. I see. So you overheard something as well. Well, I mean, that line. I mean, what I was talking about before, you know? I agree too. Do you have some kind of plan? That would be nice. Okay. Was there two empty beds there? I don't know. Oh yeah, Keystones. I haven't heard that in ages. True. I agree. Okay. But you should also sleep. Sleeping's good. Okay, yeah, there was two empty beds. I wouldn't listen to anything this creep has to say. Why should I tell you? Oh. Okay. I mean, yeah, have a pray. Praying always works. No, I'm being rude, actually. Like, reflection is actually good. Bit of stillness. It's time to think about it. Works wonders. Adjusting to people. I definitely get that. Alright. I mean, you seemingly did it right. Okay. Yeah. Well, it almost happened already. There was a whole like season about it. You guys almost ended up killing each other. Well, I mean, they're for protection, right? Keep the circle tight. What a weird thing to say. All this guy does is bathe. Never wears clothes. Well, I mean, I wouldn't want you to be his wife anyway. No. No. Tiki, you're a little freak. Why would you? Okay, I don't know about the the like front-on approach. Cocks out. Ah, what was that look? I don't. Yeah, this is a bad plan. I hate to tell you, Prolati. Should have did a little bit of skulking. Not the plushie. All right. You should run away. Is she riding on? Okay, that's actually insane. What's Sanjaman up to in all of this? No, you guys are falling for it. No. No, get Hibiko on the case. She'll know. We're off to go save the world. Well, yeah, probably, but you shouldn't. Like, this isn't Triumph at all. You're being the bad guy right now. Not that you know that. The sound design on the roll there is great. Well, I mean, you're falling for it. No, you're falling for it too now. Don't fight. It's fine. They literally just asked a question. No, now see, you're actually destroying public property. What's with the no music here? That's a weird. It's a weird thing to do. Yeah, you can. Indeed. Okay, nah, that connection actually works a lot. How do you know that name? Yeah, keep the circle tight. Okay, the music's picking up now. It's a very weird section there. It's like full 30 seconds without it. I mean, you should, though. Just leave her alone. Oh my god, they're dead? Okay. Duet time, baby? You would think, based on me not having heard the song before. It's time to gear up. It sounds like a bop, too, like already. Great. Did you say basically we share that sentiment? Okay, she's cool though. She's waterbending. We need to surf or something. Build a ramp over the wave. That works. This is a great oh my god, are we turning into a spaceship again? Yep. Just because like it's great that we're doing like a chase sequence because they're both like very mobile characters. It's very well done. Like what's similar between these two characters that we've just like picked out? Well, I mean, you're gone now too. Yeah, we murdered that person. That's great. Well, I mean, who are we going to sacrifice now, right? What an awful thing to say. So, but how are we going to get the power? The human essence. Yeah, the Symphogears murdered them unprovoked. Definitely. No, there's smoke screen everywhere. We can't, you know. Um, so through that, I was thinking that I've actually changed my mind, and all that talk that I did earlier about doing one episode, I'm actually going to do two, but the episode's going to be late, so I'll let people know on Discord shortly. Um, because I'm very, very tired right this second, and I want to give these episodes what they deserve. Then I also want to hit this good stopping point. I think that's just best for everybody. So yeah, after work tomorrow, I'll come back and reobserve again. Just because I don't feel like especially satisfied with just that episode, which was very similar structurally to the previous one, but that's fine. I mean, I just really want to see what we're doing, and I'd rather hit that good stopping point than anything else. Oh, post credit scene. Well, I mean, relatively. Okay, it seems like we've located them. Wait, it's called Suki Shrine? Isn't that like Moon Shrine? And then we got the rabbit thing going on? Of course. Okay, this makes way more sense. And then it's like the whole Shirabe. Yeah, cool. Gotcha. Oh, well, I mean, that basically just confirmed what it said at the end. If it says Shira, that's probably how you read Shirabe, and then that side of it. Okay, cool. I got super tired so quick, and I've even had a coffee before the recording session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm potentially going to watch episode 10 straight away, and then similar to how I did Monogatari this week, I might just talk about both episodes back to back in that way. That way I can start with an episode tomorrow and then move through there. But yeah, I mean, I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll let you all know on Discord about what's going on. So, all right, catch you guys later. Yeah, hello, hi, welcome back. Yeah, I was in no state to record last night. I was very, 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 very tired. But I've had a coffee this afternoon and I've had a bit of a shorter shift, kind of. It's not dark outside, which is good. And I'm ready to record episode 10 here. So let's pop that up there. So yeah, I'll just do like twice the discussion at the end, kind of similar to Monogatari this week as well. Just kind of the two episodes back to back, and then talking about what I saw at the end. So yeah, 23 minutes and 40 seconds on this one, so it should still be the picture in picture in the description below, and using D-Truck subs. Just going to give it a 3, 2, 1. Radio? 3, 2, 1, go. San Jaman? What's going on? I mean, all your friends are dead. Hmm. Yeah. 2 flowers. Hmm. Indeed. Oh. Maybe a bit of self-sacrifice involved? Oh my god. The clapping is nuts. I think most people are, I think. Okay, that's very heroic. I see. Well, that makes you purely very heroic, right? If you were still human. Okay. Okay, lots to look at there. I guess I should have said, prefaced before I started this episode, that kind of a jumping off point was that, like, the Symphogears kind of helped the bad guys in a way by killing off Praladi. Kind of forcing Sanjaman into this kind of situation she's in, where she has to sacrifice herself now. I'm pretty sure that she would have put herself before the other two anyway. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm pretty sure these characters aren't like dead, because they still have like arcs that need to be resolved. Both Cagliostro and Prelati. So we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, Shirabe and Tsubasa are feeling better about themselves, which is good. Um, I think this may imply that we're going to get some Hibiki Kirika stuff, which is a cool combo as well. It's kind of the two of the dumber characters. I'm gonna be honest with you. But yeah, just like weird combos with the cast, which is fun. Kind of similar to previous seasons where we've got a very similar episode structurally, just through the middle of the season. Almost checkbox style, which is a little bit, you know, it. We're getting somewhere, right? By the end of this episode, something should be clear. Oh, you were studying. Okay. What did that episode say? It said something about like that relic, yeah? Relic? The tiki thing. Oh, keeping your promises. It's a weird looking shot of Hibiki. Yeah, kind of. What? Is that a date? Oh yeah, the birthday thing. They did set that up earlier. What is this? Transition? Hello? That's insanity. Okay, Hibiki's birthday in 2 days. I mean, I remembered it as well. You guys mentioned it earlier. Oh no, she's getting exposed. We can't be having that. Okay, I guess we're gonna do the Hibiki birthday stuff. Too bad it coincides with like the world ending pretty much, right? Or another equivalent cataclysm. You know what I mean? And whereabouts is that? Okay. I don't think it's going to work. Okay, we're evacuating people. That's good. Yeah, probably something way bigger and better than that. Yeah, I mean that's the implication, right? The bad guys have been saying that at least that they're going to find a god. What is that? Deicide? Okay. I mean deity side, right? Okay. Eugenics research? I see. Hmm. Well, yeah. They're not indefeatable. Undefeatable? He just legged it out of the room. Oh, bit of a salad bar. It's pretty empty. Yeah, just punch it. It'll be fine. What do you mean, the Gungnir? There's got to be something else, right? Well, it's not just Gungnir. That'd be weird. Oh yeah, that there was that whole thing, right? I thought it said it was her 13th birthday, and I'm like, no, it isn't. Yes. Well, kind of at work at the moment. Oh yeah, everyone's out of commission. Okay, so I'm guessing the similar thing happened to um, Subasa and Shirabe. Oh yeah, I remember this scene. Oh, we're doing a naivete thing, right? With Hippiki. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Mirroring stupidity with naivete, maybe. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of both idealists. Um, okay. What is blue one? Oh, it's like code names. Okay. She's on a murderous rampage. Counting those sins, huh? Yeah. They figured out the plan, but they don't know how to stop it. Oh, are we just we? It didn't look like she had clothes on. Okay. Oh, that's what the tattoos were. Like scars. Yeah, this seems bad. This kind of came out of nowhere. This is what I was expecting by the end of the episode. Yeah, as implied before. Yep, it's time to go. What? Handhold? Yo! Yeah? You guys saying this makes me think it won't be. No, this... this is all very ominous, huh? Sure. I hate Tiki, bro. I can't be doing that. What is this phone? What is this ringtone? Oh my god, look at the old-timey phone. Oh, look at this, like, galactic shit. Gotta wait for the planets to align. Yeah, because that's, like, the job of what you're based on, right? The whole thing they put in your chest. Yeah. It was like a... I don't know, there's a word for it. Let her take a break. Great, and then that way. Yeah, great. Oh, not Mum as well. We didn't even let Mum speak. Mum just kind of died. See this god. Oh. Suspect one. Yeah, it looks really bad. I'm gonna be real with you guys. What is happening? Uh, what does this mean? What does this mean? Yeah, but what were the two keys? Yeah, sure, but I mean, Adam's broken. He's probably just gonna like go destroy them all. Good. I hope she's dead. All right, we're here. Oh, song. Oh, back to back transformation sequences. Okay. Or not back to back, kind of on the screen at the same time. It's a lot of stuff on screen that I'm looking at right now, though. It's over. No, there isn't. Gun versus sword fist. No, so we jumping straight into the yeah, both straight into ignite and duet. Gotcha. What is that? Okay. Oh, look at the singer response. That's great. Sure. I'm sorry, this may be a bob. She's got like crazy. Is she like double scything it right now? Is that what I'm seeing? Yeah. I mean, yours aren't, but that doesn't mean ours are, you know? Yeah. And you remember every single one. Oh! Portal Tech. Is Hibiki fucking dead? Oh no, slip between the armpit. Great. Feet to feet. Great. Sure. But what about all those keystones? Are they still up? Oh, and then they pop straight out of Ignite. Okay. Yeah, I remember. All this music too. That real like gothic choir feel. Bro, is she a communist? But I'm dead. Okay, cool. But I mean, I was still feeling like some real tension there, like something really bad's gonna happen. I don't know. I was feeling it. I've literally been through this character development before. We know. Okay, sure. Instead of relying on some other divine thing. Yeah, it does. But I get the feeling that this is going to be co opted by Adam at some point. Yeah. Just before the handhold. Okay, still got the fedora on. I think he's just winning. Ley lines in the sky? What are you talking about? Sure. Starlight? He's using that Starlight power. Well, he's breaking the rules. He's literally cheating. No, we hate to see Tiki get a W. We hate that. Okay, sure. Out of your reach? That's cute. Hat throw. What's his hat made of? Hello? That's funny. Yeah, it can, but I'm probably not going to use it like that. Or boomerang hat. Yeah. We know. We know. I read the dialogue. You got tricked. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Um, what just happened? Is she shooting like a big fucking laser? Well, they did say they evacuated the area. Uh, are we winning? What is happening? Oh, she fell on her neck. Oh, the bleeding from the eyes. But I mean, that doesn't mean you should do that, like, self sacrifice shit. Let's just say it was today. Uh, 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 no, this isn't looking good, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think she's donezo. Okay. Character development? Yeah, true. Bro, this is a communism metaphor. Think about it. I don't want to even justify that one. Good. Okay. I mean, this happened a lot quicker than other seasons. I wish we had like another two people to help us. Okay, good. All right. That's very lead on-y. Okay, okay. Bear with me. I was thinking that we were going to kill off Kirika. I was very, very close to believing it, but now I don't. And it's all about framing. We would have ended the episode on her death if we were doing it that way. We wouldn't have ended on this heroic note. The other thing I always keep in my mind is like Symphogear is extremely kind. It's a kind series, right? It's about having our cake and eating it too. Even if Kirika, say, was to die, there'd be some kind of miracle to revive her. I don't know, something like that, right? Um, yeah, that episode was really good. I feel like it was a lot. And considering the pacing of the season up to this point, I think we could have spaced stuff out a little bit better. So we're trying to do this Kirika thing at the same time the baddies are like executing their final plan, basically, right? So it's a lot of stuff to do. I think we've done a good job considering, but with some forethought, we could have just spaced some stuff out little bit better. I know shock horror have criticisms at the pacing of Symphogear, but other than that, it sets us up for a hell of a finale. Like the bad guys and the good guys are already helping each other. That's kind of crazy. And yeah, jumping into analysis on episodes 9 and 10 right now. So yeah, that's our setup going into the climax. We have Adam kind of hijacking a lot of the philosophy or the cause of Saint Germain and using it for his own nefarious means, as I've kind of predicted. It was basically in the dialogue before. He's like, "Yes, help you," like something to that effect, I think. So yeah, he's a bad guy. He's controlling everything. He's already pretty powerful, and now he's got like space star magic through like a tiki thing. I don't know, it's very hard to explain what he's trying to do. I thought there's some kind of god involved, but apparently not. We're just using a godlike power for now. Um, like the way they were framing it implied that there was going to be like some kind of beast, right? We showed Hibiki punching the shit out of the snake thing, right? Um, that implied that there was going to be an even bigger thing that maybe Hibiki could not punch. Maybe that's still coming. I don't know. But yeah, the other thing I wanted to talk about, or at least expand upon, but we'll get to it later on, is the whole Kirika thing. It doesn't come out of nowhere. That that one random scene back a few episodes ago where she lets those soldiers die is becoming very important now, actually, because it's kind of I guess recompense for that, right? A little bit, just kind of like I've seen what has happened when I didn't do this in the past. Now I have to give my all in doing the opposite. Um, and of course, we have the pairing with Hibiki and Kirika that was kind of foreshadowed, I guess, based on everything else. But yeah, about the framing of the death, right? So she has overdosed on Linka, which is bad, and she has used a superb song, which, as we know in the past, has resulted in death. Right back to the very first episode of the show, and that's bad. She's bleeding from the eyes, bad. But again, I stand by what I said. Where Symphogear, I never think is the type of show to do something like this unless it's literally like the last thing we're doing. I don't think we're ever going to go that bittersweet with it. I think we're always going to not have to give up anything and achieve that real protagonist goal. I think we're going to live through. I was buying it there for a second. Again, if we end it on like the episode on like Kirika like dying and like her vitals are equaling 0, blah blah blah. Oh, like, and then end episode. I think I'm buying it a little bit more. But for now, I think she's just going to make a recovery. But obviously, she's going to be out of commission. Elf9, who's on screen right now, needs a break, but she's working on these relics, making sure that they're ready again. But she hasn't had like her lunch break in like 14 days straight. So she's probably a little bit tired and not doing the best work she can. That's why we need good labor laws in our country. But I digress. I've made that joke a number of times now. Yeah, let's dive in and kind of remind ourselves of the previous episode as well. I spent a lot of that time talking about the most recent one, but yeah, let's dive back in, shall we? So yeah, this is very immediate and very important. Your gears were taken for maintenance because I underestimated the Annihilation Barrier's effect. The Annihilation Barrier being the thing with the full stone, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So they can do this one-off big thing with the ignite mode, stopping the Annihilation Barrier or keeping the Annihilation Barrier going, which is stopping the Lapis from doing its thing. But it's going to take its toll, and you're not going to be able to use your powers for a little bit. Kind of justifies why we need these pairings as well a little bit. Yeah, it gets a little bit of a head pat as a little bit of a reward, which is good. All right, but in the background, so we have that adorable scene happening, and then these two are training. And it's all about cooperation. We're continuing in that theme from episode 8. So one of the most noticeable things here right now is that there's like no singing going on at all, which doesn't indicate a lot of kind of connection between the two. Yeah, and I had no trouble doing this with Kiri because there was a connection there, of course. Again, a lot of this is Shirabe's cross to bear, right? Tsubasa is obviously going pretty quick, pretty skillful character, and Shirabe not able to keep up. And I like this too, right? So we have Ogawa, and a lot of this episode is about speed, and of course we have the two most mobile Symphogears kind of paired together, and we kind of end the episode on a little bit of a chase scene. Just all building upon itself, right? Ogawa is going to represent a target that's way too quick for the eye. Shirabe is a little bit too slow at the moment to pick up Tsubasa's cues. There's lots of stuff going on there building along this speed theme. But he is just like a ninja. Like, he has stupid powers here. But I mean, we've come to expect that at this point. After he like ran on water and like saved everybody and like kind of waterbended, I was all suspension of disbelief with Ogawa's out the window. He can just do what he wants. And we hear the intro into it. I believe this is the same Shirabe song as before. I'm recognizing some of the lyrics, so it's always a pretty good indicator that I've seen it. But yeah, he's doing ninja shit, like teleporting behind you, just like what are we doing, guys? Like, look at him. What are we doing? Kiri-chan can do it with everybody, but I can only do it with her. Well, this is just not true, as we see later on. There's that still that trouble with the connection between different people all the time, right? Between all the different Symphogears. Did you not watch the previous episode where like two very skillful users had to work together in a different way? That's what episode 8 was all about. We have to work together to cover the area, just blanket the whole area. He can't run away from that. No, no, no. No, no, no. We have to be a little bit more. What's the word? Have a little bit more finesse than that, let's say. Like, this is a very dangerous technique, as we're foreshadowing here, right? Just kind of blanketing everything, as we see here, where Gawa just gets, like, cut apart. But no, it was a trick. He's fine. He's fine, ladies and gents. He didn't just get murdered. You've got the power, all that's left is how to use it. Of course, of course. And yeah, this is what a lot of the episode is about. She's just like how I used to be, which is, the connective tissue between the Tsubasa and Shirabe storylines that we have going on here. Actually, no, this is a good point. Okay, maybe I was wrong before, because Shirabe is the only one that's unable to get increased phonic gain when working with others. That's very specifically a her problem, right? Oh, and now all this stuff about the Shrine Association is starting to make a lot more sense. Kind of their plan around the Keystones that comes to fruition in episode 10 before it really doesn't because Adam's broken. Yeah, this is all essentially set up for what we just saw. The Divine Gate, the power that the Bavarian Illuminati is after, and how we're going to stop that. And then, yeah, we get our change of pace as well by going off to a shrine, kind of a little bit of an excursion, get us out of training, get a new, fresh perspective from somebody else on what's going on. So yeah, what we're hoping to do at this shrine is to find out more about this Divine Gate and ley lines while we're here. That's kind of what we do. We kind of research and listen to old mate, who will make his appearance later on. Very funny character. This is a little bit of origin stuff and a flashback for Kirika and Shirabe. There's the setup here around her name and it being kind of a weird Japanese reading of it, I believe, is what they're implying. And we later find out what that meaning actually is. This is cool too. Okay, so this is a kind of a connection between the two episodes as well. So Shirabe can't remember her real name based on, well, whatever like origin she had before FIS. Clearly it didn't involve a lot of love there or a lot of memory or a lot of any of that stuff, right? The same theme is reinforced through the Kirika birthday thing, right? That comes back at the end of episode 10. In a real tragic way, of course. And yeah, it kind of underpins a real tragedy. I guess I'll talk about it in episode 10, about her being excited for the birthday of Hibiki, and her being the one really pushing that forward. So name, nothing on the name, but I have this charm, and it says Shira on it, and we later learn how we're reading Shira, I think, according to the Japanese. Yeah, hey, look, it's here. I forgot my birthday, so they made it the day I arrived. I see, okay. That'd be weird. So you could technically be older or younger than you think you are. That's kind of insane. Another connection that I found out about this episode, probably a little bit too late, was the whole rabbit moon shrine connection and how that connects to Shirabe, of course. Like that's just very, very obvious stuff now that I know it. And then we have this freak. This guy's up here with the strangest characters in the show. His dialogue is just... He's just demented. I don't know if I like him very much. So he's the priest, and then he immediately leads in with, Senki reminds me of my granddaughter who died with her family in a car accident. I just met you? Hello? What are you talking about? And then this is a weird implication from Chris, right? If she was alive today, she'd be the same age as the rest of you. What? She can't be the same age. Is the priest guy meant to be like a way older? Is that why it's weird? Yeah, and then he's just joking. What a terrible joke in poor taste. Like, imagine coming up to somebody in the first like 2 lines where you're meeting them saying, "Oh yeah, you remind me of my family member who died horrifically in this real world thing that happens to a lot of people." It's like, and then just, "Oh yeah, jokes." What are you saying? This guy should be put in prison right next to Ver. He justifies it as like a weird icebreaker. No, it just made things more weird. Cool, so this is the map we get off this guy, which we use later on as well. Yeah, it's the mirrored version of Orion drawn by the 7 Hikawa shrines in this area. Right, so we're all building up around this area for the Divine Gate. Cool. This is actually really See, now I've seen the payoff for this, all these setups in this episode. It's making it a whole lot more clear. That's good. Okay, weird. Kind of lucky that I did those 2 episodes the way I did. So we're having a serious scene, and then Hibiki's stomach growls because she's that kind of character. I kind of like these two faces in the background. Like, these two are just so astronomically over her shit. That's funny. Like, almost the same face. That's good. So they're going to take a break from the research to have this guy's quiche, which is another weird thing. Why would you make a quiche? It is a classic, like, old person dish, though. Cool, and then we pan over to Praladi, who's... somebody's poured a glass of wine. It could be implied to, metaphorically imply to be Cagliostro. But I think she's pouring, like, a glass of, like, milk. Unless it's, like, coconut water or something. What is she doing? Yeah, kind of clinking glasses with it as well. Yeah, definitely like Cagliostro metaphorically, right? Kind of passing that baton on. We later see that, there was, when this was happening, you actually overheard some things that Cagliostro was saying about the transmutation of life energy. It doesn't sit right with me how ready Adam is to sacrifice his own. We later learned that he's, like, evil. Of course. Yeah, we're all basing it on Cagliostro's woman's intuition. And then, yeah, you were given a woman's body later in life in pursuit of biological perfection. Cool. That's our biggest indicator, if the subs are correct, that it actually is a little bit more of a trans thing. Interesting. Okay. Or at least you can interpret it that way. And it's probably a lens I'm taking to it as well. Interesting. Kind of gives a lot of weight to the VA choice and a lot of Cagliostro's dialogue as well. Cool. So it's the middle of the night. We have both Tsubasa and Shirabe up. It'll be important later when we need to spring into action. So yeah, as I thought before as well, we see 1, 2, 3 sleeping, 1 sleeping there, and then 2 empty futons on the floor. And then, yeah, we're talking about keystones here as well. They'll, of course, come up in episode 10. We get a little bit of sage advice from old mate the priest as well. Kind of, I guess, in a way, solving Shirabe's problem, but again, it's all, a lot of it is internal, so she figures it out herself. So what better place to let go of secrets than a shrine, of course, kind of bringing in a little bit of that Japanese culture into it, where he does the whole prayer thing, the bowing and the clapping. I'm not well versed, obviously, and neither is Shirabe. So she's kind of watching and learning as we go in here. I always forget the thing with FIS, right? Because it's American based, but these girls obviously aren't American, right? I don't know. It's a weird one. It's kind of based on a lot of Ryoko stuff, kind of like Ryoko's just kind of hanging around, and Ver's there too. Like, I don't know. A little bit of clarity there, right? I always thought it was American. Yeah, not really familiar with Japanese customs like that as a result, maybe. So again, a lot of the dialogue here, Shirabe isolating herself. I put walls up that push those dear to me away, and eventually I fear I'll do the same to my very best friend. Best friend. Or so she fears anyway. If we're to be believed about the end of episode 10, I don't think you need to worry about that for much longer, but I digress. But we're using this for justification for why Shirabe's actually got the right point of view. She's a good person because of this, because of putting up these walls. So he's taking a bit more of a charitable view that putting up these walls around yourself aren't just for rejection, they're for protection of those around you as well. So breaking down those walls, that's great. That's one of the key pillars to this kind of cooperation thing we have going on. But these walls also exist for a reason, and it's part of the reason you're respected the way you are. So here we get a little bit of Tiki motivation. I want to be a real girl. Once you get your hands on the divine power, I want to be human just like you. I don't want to be weird robot thing, relic human. I want to be real. It's Pinocchio vibes. But like demented and stupid, honestly. Just to have kids with this freak, with this like loser. Why? For what purpose? Yeah, Tiki is really on a real tear of becoming my least favorite character. Just like unrelentingly annoying and mean and stupid and ugly and has no friends. I don't know. At least Ver had like memes. Tiki's just like annoying. Like really, really annoying. I don't know. Tell me if there's any Tiki fans in the audience. That's It would surprise me. But essentially, like, Tiki blurts out the plan, and Pilates right there. So now I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to sacrifice one of us to get the energy you need to do the thing you want to do, right? This face, when he, like, gets his cock up out of the water as well, not good. No. So now we have Praladi fighting back, now learning that her, Sanjaman, and probably Cagliostro were all part of the plan to be sacrificed the entire time. And yeah, you know, I wasn't after your really idealistic, like, breaking down barriers, eat the rich type plan. It's really not what's going on. It's a little bit more of like an everyone equality thing. It's less political than that. But I'm just memeing. Um, I'm just going to use the godlike power for me to sit on top of, you know, everybody basically, right? I'm co-opting a strategy about equality into a strategy about dictatorship. Me being at the top of everything and having the most divine absolute power over everybody. Oh no, what a shock. This guy's evil. I don't know. I don't know. So now Prolati makes her escape. And we get this line from Adam. She got away. She's going to warn Sanjaman. What are we going to do? Let the Symphogear hunt her down. So this is a really weird line. I feel like this line should happen at the end of the episode as a little bit more of a kicker. Because now, as a result, the ensuing fight becomes a real feel-bad fight. Where we know that Adam is manipulating the Symphogears to take out Prolati, so leaves Sanjaman all alone and desperate, really. Not having those voices of reason potentially to break her out of anything. So, I mean, it takes a real sour note, this triumphant moment for both Tsubasa and Shirabe. It's just kind of, again, soured. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I guess you really feel like the tension brewing between episode 9 into episode 10 of something bad occurring soon. So she's making her way to Sanjaman, but making a lot of destruction in the process, probably not helping her case when the Symphogears finally arrive. So yeah, these two, I've talked about it a number of times, very mobile, and then we have this theme about speed, about taking initiative, about, you know, moving in when you're not supposed to, and that kind of thing, like kind of Shirabe taking the initiative there, not waiting for the rest of the team, and then Tsubasa just kind of catching up behind her. There's something going on there for sure, even if I'm not sure I'm articulating it very well. Oh yeah, I remember this in the moment. There's kind of no music here, and it's a really weird choice, just for a solid 30 seconds, and I'm like, I don't know, there's like a chase going on. Like, you should probably put a little bit of background music there, I think. Of course, Shirabe has her final little bit of doubt here, and Tsubasa comes in clutch and making her feel a little bit better about things. This is where it comes through, right? This kind of, I have to get stronger alone. I have to cut people off. These walls that I'm building around me aren't for, you know, isolation. They're also for protecting those around me as well. Tsubasa's already been through this lesson. It's kind of the perfect person to teach this lesson to her. I lost a dear friend and vowed never to lose anyone again. That became my wall. It grew so high to blind me. And of course, we're talking about Kanade. Walls aren't there to reject, they're there to protect. Great. And that, of course, is Shirabe's own kindness. And she's coming to that triumphant realization, the kind of build up into the duet's great here, musically, I mean. So yeah, giant explosion in tunnel just as their triumphant moment is happening. Praladi kind of firebends at her a little bit. Then we hear Dines Lefu, and we pop into that duet. Again, these duets are just a great idea, a great way to show off two singers that haven't really sung together before as well, and get a new song out of it in true Symphogear fashion. Good stuff. Why do we climb this hill? Is it to march on with our song in the air and abandon the shelter of the past? Tears shed too late are the most powerless of all. We can go anywhere once we use the invisible wings we have. We are the heirs of the celestial song. The wing thing is interesting, obviously relating to a lot of the Tsubasa stuff, but also not unrelated to the Kiriko Shirabe relationship. March on, surmount the battlements, and you will find further courage there. We are each guided by the love of our friends. Unerringly towards the future, we are the innocent song of life. Our support for each other clears the path, the true meaning of being strong yourself. And we kind of get the fusion into like another giant spaceship thing, which we're seemingly liking to do this season, lies in the symphony of song. And yeah, this is our triumphant moment, the clash between like the weird Kendama transformer and the twin duet ship, you know, Symphogear stuff. When we met, you said you knew immediately. that we would survive. I think so too. Together we will blast through the heavens as we delete Prelati from existence, Cagliostro style, as she screams for Saint-Germain, unable to get that information across, potentially would have saved us some trouble in episode 10. But we do come around eventually to the good side. It's good, pretty good VA work on that scream too from Prelati. Pretty heartbreaking stuff actually. Yeah, this phone at this shrine is kind of killing me. Just like this old-timey phone that's just hanging out here that we're using to communicate information between the Alchemist team. We have Saint-Germain on the other end here getting the news that Prelati has died. Prelati was run over like a frog on the highway. Just what an awful thing to say, Tiki. You're just terrible. And yeah, we get this heartbreaking news heading into our ED. I think there's a little post-credit scene, I believe, as well. Oh yeah, just kind of the wrap-up on the shrine stuff. True. So they leave the shrine with the information about the ley lines and the there was a certain name for the shrines that made up the area. Heikawa or something. Anyway, we get that information, and that's kind of leading into the episode 10 climax. We learn that the shrine is called Suki Shrine, and you may be here anytime you like. We get a little, what would you call this? Charm? Yeah, charm. Let's go with charm from the priest here. It's kind of, having Shirabe's back in a weird way. This says Suki Shrine, but how do you read that as Suki? Then we get this, which says Shira. Again, I'm sure there's some elaborate Japanese explanation for why there's different readings for these. And of course, relating to Shirabe, Suki meaning moon. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it means moon. Then that leading into a lot of the Shirabe stuff. She got her name off a charm that was on the bag. There's a lot of that connection to Shirabe there. The whole rabbit thing. I think she's got the rabbit thing going on too. Yeah, a little bit. And now moving into episode 10, of course. So yeah, episode 9 there, in kind of retrospect, was a lot more set-up-y and transitional into kind of a little bit more of an emotional and higher climax in episode 10, IMO. Episode 10, definitely superior, in my honest opinion. So we start with a lot of this stuff with Saint-Germain, which is very... Once you hear this, it's like, okay, she's clearly like the good guy. She's clearly got very, very good and noble aspirations. So dropping these two flowers, evidently symbolic of Prelati and Cagliostro, you would think. I've grown accustomed to being left behind. My life, like theirs, is not mine to keep. I will see them very soon. Yeah, kind of setting up that she's willing and able to sacrifice herself in the pursuit of this greater good, this, universal goodness that she wants to occur before it gets hijacked by dumbass Adam and stupid Tiki. Like clearly she's willing to put her life on the line to preserve her ideals, which makes her an immediately honorable and relatable character. Like, well done. This is very, very heroic. And here's the other reveal. So that's what you were counting, the sins you had to bear. Not the kills, not the confirmed kills you did to reach your goals. No, you're counting the negative consequence of what you did, right? Like, despite what I'm doing now, I'm counting up the bad things I'm doing now to justify what I'm doing later. Again, making this hijacking of her ideals all the more tragic later on in the episode. Like, you're just a bad guy, man. I don't know what to tell you. So, again, we have Saint-Germain getting called out for hypocrisy here, right? If you were still human, you'd understand. Kind of like sacrificing others, sacrificing myself, sacrificing everything, my honor, my, want to keep other humans alive, right? I'm willing and able to kill in this process, but I don't feel good about it. That's kind of hypocritical. And of course, we're relating that hypocrisy to Hibiki, and we're relating that a little bit to Kirika as well through this episode. So yeah, very strong thematically so far. And then we jump into this. We have Hibiki finishing her exams, I'm guessing, right? And we have Antikithira, right? And we just have kind of Tiki doing Tiki stuff this episode. That's kind of what the episode's alluding to. I forget because this is the name of that piece of magical mumbo jumbo. It was kind of involved in that little side story from the game too. If I'm wrong there, it's the thing we put into Tiki's chest, and it's about kind of celestial stuff, maps, seeing where things go. It's kind of like an ancient Greek thing from memory as well. People were saying, makes a lot of sense with how Tiki's being used this episode, kind of with that star map and the whole Orion thing. Yeah, okay. So it's all coming together. So Hibiki successfully navigated doing her missions as well as her homework. We kind of saw a little bit of that homework in episode 7 or 8, one of those two. Kind of where she's doing it at the table and having that conversation with Miku. So yeah, she's successfully navigated that using the path of least resistance, she says. But that sounds like Hibiki's way, right? Just kind of working her way through it, as she says, keeping her promises. And then, oh no, because Kirika's so excited about this birthday now, which is, you would think, the 13th, the 9th, the 13th of September. Like, yeah, she's just so damn excited for the birthday, which is all the more tragic when we learn the stuff later on. And yeah, then this transition as well, which is insanity. Like, who would make this? Oh, then we have like good, like Chris getting embarrassed stuff because Chris told them about Hibiki's birthday. That's great. Yeah, the blush, perfect. Good old tsundere stuff. It's been a while since we've seen some genuine tsundere from Chris. After that short little interlude, at the start of the episode, we jump into our briefing. Based on the scrolls and legends you studied at the shrine, basically, we know the villain's plan and what they're trying to do. We are coordinating with the Shrine Association to reinforce defenses at these key points. I think that's what all those kind of men in black and secret agents are doing around the locations. This is good as well. We've coordinated a full-scale evacuation ready for kind of the bad stuff to go down. I'm going to imagine that isn't the last time the big old tiki beam is going to be shot out. So it's good that people aren't going to die en masse. That's nice. Yeah, this is the line, right? Kind of panning back, seeing that kind of snake thing. If I can get a good shot of it, that'll do. And then talking to kind of Mario saying this, like, is there going to be like some giant dumb kaiju thing we have to fight? I kind of hope so, because they normally nail those kind of fights, especially now that Sanjiman is seemingly on our team. Again, I'll talk about it more later, but I think there's definitely something in the villains turning this quickly to the good side. Kind of learning our lessons from previous seasons. We're getting better at this, and we're progressing through these plot points that may be similar a lot quicker than we did the previous time. Helps things feel fresh. It's definitely going to be an interesting climax now that we have a full-on 3 episodes with just basically Adam and Tiki as the bad guys, right? It's interesting. I wonder where that goes. We haven't seen that yet. Again, it's also the payoff to a lot of the Hibiki stuff that's been set up with her and Sanjiman, kind of seeing eye to eye, aligning their ideals. Kamigoroshi, I think we're calling it, and we're kind of saying deicide. There are stories all over the world of so-called gods having to face death. It seems that wartime Germany obtained a power related to the death of gods as the ultimate result of their eugenics research. Sure. If you want to justify eugenics research in that kind of way, go off, I guess. But unfortunately, Adam destroyed where such relics and stuff would have been kept, right? Those promising documents from Valverde would have probably told us some stuff. Adam went and destroyed it. It's probably a dead lead, but does at least account for something that could beat them, right? It's kind of a further setup, I'm guessing, when it's time to actually beat Adam and Tiki. We're going to have something that's already close to us, or we already maybe know about, that's going to, hey, this was actually the weapon all along. Something like that, I think. Yeah, it's like, because they made an effort to destroy things, they could have been covering up something that could be used to destroy them. The power of Kamigoroshi, or Deicide, I think. Oh, this is funny too. So Ogawa says, I'll coordinate with domestic and international intelligence agencies to gather any related information. And then just legs it out of the room. Like, that's hilarious. I don't know why him, like, sprinting immediately to get to work is funny. I don't know. So we're thinking about this divine destroying power. Could it be Gungnir? We've seen it, do miracle stuff before. Is it the kind of Kamigoroshi thing we're looking for? There's no god-slaying legends associated with Gungnir, so potentially not. If I had to predict right now, I don't think it's a specific relic, but it may be some overall mindset-y thing, some good old Symphogear stuff, rather than just like some weapon we use. So yeah, this is something we should talk about as well. Based on the events of episodes kind of 8 and 9, all the girls are out of commission but Hibiki and Kirika. So that kind of justifies why those two take the lead and go and and kind of fight the bad guys at the end. You can't have a birthday without a birthday party, as Kiriko kind of brings up that it's Hibiki's birthday soon and they should throw a party while they're all together here, right? You can't have a birthday without a party. Oh no, you're going to miss somebody else's birthday. Kiriko, I'm sorry, based on the events at the end of the episode. And then we have this, right? Chris, the random aside, don't get ahead of yourself, don't be that naive, that you can think about such things as birthday parties when we have, potentially the end of the world on the cards, some god-slaying power going on. And that line, naive, comes back to a line from Cagliostro during episode 7. So Kiriko's telling those soldiers to evacuate calmly. What exactly you think is all right here, Miss Naive, kind of giving them some reassurance when potentially their deaths are very close behind. And then we see kind of the reverse of this scene later on, right? Instead of letting what is essentially like empty buildings, right? Because it got evacuated. Instead of letting empty buildings get destroyed, she's going to jump in the way of this bullet instead now, kind of learning that lesson in a weird way. It's not all right unless I make it all right and stand in the way and kind of, make it. But in that same way, is that also naivete, right? Not getting out of the way, thinking you could take this all on yourself, thinking it'll all be okay in the end. But that kind of naivete has been rewarded in the past. Think about a lot of Hibiki's actions in Symphogear G. Think about it, right? Then this scene's just funny. We have Sanjaman just murdering all these secret agents, and of course counting down as she's doing it, counting up that number, her sins being accumulated. So then a lot of the rest of the episode is just like bad things happening to Sanjaman, right? And we do a really good job of building that tension. It feels like some real bad shit is happening, and I think that's good. I think kind of lost a lot of that in Symphogear, right? I really felt it in season 1 before I got real comfortable of what the show's doing and what it's about. I really felt that kind of world-ending evil tension to it, where I guess I always knew it was going to be okay in the end in the other seasons. I don't know. Definitely a different feel here. Feels, again, dire. Really, really dire. I guess because Sanjaman's such a likable character, right? And seeing her go through something like this is bad. We don't like seeing it. So she's going to use the life energy I've gathered so far to set up the central control plinth. We still probably need another number of human sacrifices, energiness to actually open what we have going on, maybe? I don't know. There's definitely still that implication. So yeah, those kind of tattoo things, those kind of scar things that she has on her back are making a whole lot more sense now. It's kind of making up that same constellation. That'll be the kind of doors opening, the kind of reflecting as above, so below on the person, on the thing. It's ritual stuff, but it kind of makes sense, weirdly enough. And then, yeah, we see stuff like this. The scale expands almost immediately. The music's like very sinister. It feels big. We see it hit all of the different shrines that we talked about before, making that shape, that kind of gate shape we keep seeing on the map. It's going to use her own life energy to supply the energy we need to open the gate. Oh, this is a great way to increase tension, right? So we have Miku sleeping nicely, right? As you do. Hibiki's like answering the call, trying to be quiet, which is cute as well. Going into work, and she has to go. Kind of crawls out of bed, almost falls, I think, and Miku tries to grab her. And the handhold, right? Again, they're still sharing that top bunk, by the way. I'll be okay, right? I don't know. Because of this scene, there was kind of a twinge of fear that went through me. Remember when Sanjaman kind of almost like pierces Hibiki like between the arm and the chest? I was like, are we actually like doing something here? I mean, Hibiki's almost died like a billion times. I like that we kind of flipped the script there, and it's actually Kiriko that was the one in trouble. Maybe this is a little bit red herring-y in that respect as well. Interesting. I'll be alright. My birthday's coming up. I'll be back before you know it. And then the nod. Oh no. Oh no. That's tragic, huh? The lightning in the sky, the kind of clouds coming together there as well. Yeah, just very ominous. Very, very ominous. Sets up a great climax to the episode. You really feel it, you know? Again, we have like Tiki watching this human sacrifice and then answers this like old-timey telephone. Thinking back early in the season, I think Adam also used this telephone to communicate her in the first place as well. I remember her like struggling to use it. Weird. Does he just have these planted all around the place to communicate? Like he can't like He can't use like a normal mobile phone. He needs to be that extra. Okay. Yeah, again, this whole like celestial theme, the waiting for the planets to align, the stars to align in just the right spot to open the thing, feels really bad. Feels bad. Feels, scary. I like it. Yeah, great setup of the stakes here for sure. Oh, that was great too. We have uh this guy. I always forget his name. Subasa's fake dad. Um says that everything's in place, the plan's ready. And then that's when they get the keys out later on and do the whole keystone thing. Right, okay. While Sanjaman's kind of suspended here, giving her life power, kind of almost sacrificing herself, right? She's dying right now. You can almost think about all these like kind of dots coming off of her, this kind of essence, as some of the lives that she's letting go potentially, right? That she's accumulated, her sins, as she says. And yeah, kind of thinking about the mum and that whole oppression subplot from her flashback in this moment as well. The ley lines we see giving the energy to the middle. Get that great sound of like something powering up as well. Just good stuff. Then we have Tiki up in the air saying the sus line, the power of a maiden blindly in love or something weird. And here it is, right? Only a matter of time before the divine gate manifests. With me again. They both turn the keys in different locations. Keystone activation. I don't know why they needed the keys if these guys are just going to cut some rope and it's going to activate them anyway, but sure. So this is cool because it's not as far-fetched because it's building on a lot of stuff from GX. Like, we understand what these keystones do. They stop ley line energy. That's the reason why the auto-scorers were trying to destroy them during that season. It just makes sense. We're going to get a bunch of these and they're going to stop this energy. And yeah, it works, if not only temporarily. So this stops Tiki in her tracks and also stops Sanjaman's self-sacrifice. I love the sound of her like falling from the sky and dying. I thought that was good too. Of course, we have our kind of side-by-side transformation sequences here that we're using. Very hype. You don't really get to see this one very often. I remember we got a trio one with our main girls previous in the show at one point. But other than that, not really. Ooh, that's great too. Kind of the intro to the song. We hear the oh wow wow, oh wow wow from like Hibiki. So I know somebody else can probably talk to it musically a little bit better, but I like we're keeping kind of the Hibiki call response stuff that we'll get a little bit in the lyrics. As Sanjaman kind of, a little bit miffed that her self-sacrifice and all of her sins up to this point have been kind of in vain. We have giant gun versus fist battle. Is fighting the only option we have left? You and I both fight for what we believe is right, holding our justice tight. There is no other way. I must fight. I think you'll change your tune in about, let's say, 8 minutes or so. Beliefs are destiny isn't a weight on your shoulders. Still, it can be hard to take the shortest route sometimes. Kind of that Hibiki tech, the shortest route possible. Oh yeah, the path of least resistance. There's some of that in that too. I can't seem to manage to let you hear my song. Oh, this is great. Kind of lyrics back and back, kind of talking to Sanjaman here. The love that saves the world is difficult. This line being intersected by Hibiki saying fight. Of course, we have the colors denoting the different singers too. I don't want to tell you something half-baked. Look at my real feelings. Yeah, these lyrics are very strong and very pointedly about the conflict right now. That's very impressive. When we sing together, we can find harmony, shout to the sky, go towards our dreams. I don't think either of the fights we had both last episode or this episode are as strong animation and fight choreography wise as the one in 8. It's still pretty good though. Probably a noticeable step up from the rest of the show. Just kind of 8 really soared in that area, kind of had the ships whirring everywhere through the sky in a really effective sequence. Yeah, just kind of don't mirror, don't hit that high again, IMO. A punch for love to never give in. When our love is united, our hearts kind of interrupted that line with this kind of water vortex. Interesting. Kind of, yeah, another noticeable point where the music is interrupted by something tangible in the scene. Good stuff, Symphogear. Find the kind of determination that suits you. And then kind of Sanjaman during this, we'll find the lunar ruins, we'll seize them, we'll free mankind from the curse of Belial and end its history of oppression. So we'll end oppression by doing what we're doing, so it makes it doubly awful what Adam is doing, kind of co-opting this cause to become the oppressor. That's just terrible, right? We saw this move before as well, kind of like the wolf gun, and it definitely murks Kirika here. But we've seen Hibiki get in the way of her before, and she does so again here with that kind of even so power, which is despite everything, even so, right? Like, this is so Hibiki. Despite evidence to the contrary, I'm going to still do my thing. Whatever you say, even so, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm that determined. Great stuff. Even so, it's not worth sacrificing others for. And then, yeah, that these aren't sacrifices that I take lightly. I remember every single one. I remember every single number. The sins I carry at this point, changing my ways is not an option. It's a sunk cost thing, right? I've put my own honor, my own humanity in a way on the line to do this. There's no way I'm stopping now because of something you said. Oh, that was like a cool portal tech with the gun to kind of transporting the bullets over here, then over here. Good. We see Hibiki kind of stabbed through the chest here, but not really. It's the classic through the armpit. Be true to yourself. Go. You can make it. Come on and help protect us the best way you can. As we see the kind of feet interlock here with Kirika and Hibiki, kind of making like a drill, right? Where kind of Kirika's providing the power, Hibiki at the front being the fist, being the kind of blade at the end of it. Yeah, look at that. 2 shouts, 1 love. Sure, whatever you say. Yeah, and then the good guys win, at least for now, until Adam shows up with his broken bullshit. For the sake of this planet's future, no one should ever, as we get a pan back to this backstory again, of course, where we saw oppressors taking the life of somebody close to her, not giving her the means to protect her own mother. No one should ever suffer that shame or overthrow oppression. No one should be able to have that power over other people to prevent their lives from being changed, right? Evidently way more relevant back when she was born, back when she was very, very young, but not irrelevant today either, I'll say. But yeah, that was enough for Sanjaman. She falls down, unable to bear that weight anymore. Hibiki's like, I've come a long way with my fists, but there's some things that my fists won't allow. Extends this hand, trying to help her up. I'm not afraid to open my fists. Progression, right? We've had seasons worth of content about you struggling with this. Now you get it. You're seemingly on the right page. Actual, genuine character growth. Good stuff, Symphogear. Using godlike power to break a curse created by God is wrong. People need to change as people. We, the people, need to take it into our own hands to change this stuff, not attain that same similar godlike power, right? We have the power in our own hands already, as humans, not something greater than humans. I'm sure somebody else could talk to the theming here better, but it is quite strong. And then Sanjaman with an even so of her own. That unbending, unreasonable, even so of yours. Maybe that represents the true power to change the world. Yeah, seems like you're really getting together on the right page here, finally. That unrelenting, even so, that unrelenting, I guess, resilience to the contrary, that you guys keep going. Hand reaching out to hand outreached, right? They're going to finally connect before being interrupted by Adam, of course. Of course, he's just floating in the sky in his full getup, and he just breaks the rules, as a character like Adam should. So I'm sure somebody could talk to the justification better, but essentially he's using like star energy, the pure star energy instead of the energy of the Earth itself. He's already ascended, in a way. He's not using the life of the planet, but the stars themselves, using the ley lines in the sky. Using Orion itself to symbolize the gate. The distinction of macro and microcosm is the most fundamental law of alchemy, and he's breaking it. Oh no! He just breaks the rules. That's what he does. And Tiki's back on. She's back alive. It's just bad news for anybody with, good taste. So Hibiki attempts to jump at Adam here. He throws his hat in a very graceful way, some may say even fabulous way, and the hat is so solid that it knocks her out of the sky. Probably considered the most powerful character in the show. Just a hat knocks you out of the sky. What's in that hat is my question. And how is it sitting in your head all the time like that? And this is when Sanjaman finally learns what Praladi learned last episode. Asks this question to Adam. Can this power really free mankind from the chains of oppression? Well, yeah, it can. I'm not gonna do that though. That's kind of funny. I don't know. Like Adam's cool. Well, cool's a strong word. I get Adam. Tiki's annoying. I don't like Tiki at all. And yeah, this is the tragedy, the death of my two closest comrades, everything I've given up to this point, the sins I've bared, were all for naught, for powering up this evil oppressor. I became the thing I hated, right? I like this shot too, kind of almost an action shot for Kirika, right? Setting up that she's going to do something. Hibiki's on her backside. Sanjaman's clearly not in the right headspace to be making such a play. This actually makes a lot of sense in retrospect. Yeah, there's something about like a guy like Adam co-opting a very utilitarian worldview, a very utilitarian cause for his own individual gain that is resonant, I think, for sure. We have Tiki turning into like a super ray gun, shooting this beam out of her mouth. The music hits a perfect moment here where it just kind of pauses and lets the explosion happen. Yeah, it looks pretty bad. However, this is only a portion of it because some of it's being blocked. Yeah, we kind of hear that kind of Zesshou, the Superb song, breaking through. Yeah, it's Kirika's. This was unexpected, right? This is the very Hibiki play, especially based on the stuff with Miku. You'd think that she would be the one to sacrifice herself, but no. Out of nowhere comes Kirika to do something, right? She's never been the character to do thing. That's kind of crazy, right? But yeah, talking to that theme of naivete and hypocrisy that keeps coming up. Yeah, without somebody that's, that naive that they're, have no worries themselves, how are they going to carry the burdens of others, right? A lot of this is reflected in Hibiki. Kind of seeing the start of the Tears of Blood as well. Oh, and this is just tragic too. So you hear the music come in, right? And then this. Ooh, that's great. That's fantastic out of Symphogear. That's good stuff. Tugs at the heartstrings. Again, I was more shocked than anything in the moment. I can kind of see the tragedy of it now, right? It's a genuine self-sacrifice to save the world, to save these two people that will go on to save the world, you would think, right? And kind of that shocked look by Sanjaman here at this sacrifice, right? Like, if you're willing to put your life on the line for your cause like that, the same way that I just was as well, what else is going to change my mind, Your ideals are equally strong as mine. And then the birthday stuff comes in, and then the waterworks start. It's just crazy. The most important part of a birthday is still being around for the next one. I don't know my birthday, so I focus super hard on other people's birthdays, right? We get the Linka bottles coming out. It turns out she's been overdosing to power up such a play as well. Oh, it's just not looking good for her. So, okay, here's what I was talking about before. If this episode ended in like 30 seconds, I would say that she's like a goner. She's like super dead. But because we have that kind of triumphant end to it, I get the feeling that she's going to make a recovery, not soon. Maybe there will be some longer lasting consequence to it, but she's not going to die, I don't think. Where it really had me fooled around here, right? I'm like, are they really doing this? Well, no, they weren't really doing this, I don't think. Based on framing and intuition alone from me. Maybe they are, and they're just doing a really bad job at it. Again, in the background, you hear Shirabe just going crazy. Again, if you're a big Kirika Shirabe head, this is probably sending you mental. We hear that kind of intro build up into the ED, and we get this kind of really heroic stuff out of Sanjaman. I won't let you hurt them anymore. If you want the divine power for yourself, then you are the oppressor I must face. No matter, the divine power will soon be complete. Kind of panning to Tiki still. I still don't know like what we're doing. We're opening a gate for a god, maybe, kind of. I don't know. But we're also like using her as a big old beam gun. We both hold what we believe is right. We are enemies who can never possibly reach an understanding. Reach? Hold hands? But now we must face the same direction, squaring off against the same opponent. The enemy is great, the odds overwhelming. What do you say, Tachibana Hibiki? The same thing I always say when confronted with the impossible. Even so! And then, yeah, that's our lead into the ED. Very, very hype indeed, leading into probably our 3-episode Symphogear climax, as we like to do. Yeah. This was really, really good. It makes a lot of sense. A lot of the character stuff this episode upon rewatch, right? Like everybody's actions at every point are justified by something and build up to something very, very good. Sanjuman's turn is perfect. The way it happens in the episode and in the context of Symphogear as a show and in the season is really well executed. Adam is a real piece of shit. Tiki's super annoying. Kirika's sacrifice was great. I still don't believe she's dead, but yeah, what more could you ask for? This was worth the wait. This was a fantastic episode. It definitely mercs episode 9. Episode 9 is very setup heavy, of course. And yeah, just awesome stuff. Can't wait for next week to do more. Probably going to do a similar structure where I do 2 of this, do like 11, 12, and then 13 on OVAs. I'll try to do something like that, but we'll see. Depending on what work looks like, of course. Should go to this screen too, so you can see the full face. Yeah, 2 thumbs up in 1080p 60 FPS for sure. Anyway, chill stuff, I guess. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation, comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord, join Discord, love Discord. And yeah, looking forward to next week for more Symphogear. And thanks for watching this time around. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, because they were 2 really great episodes. And yeah, catch you around, see you around. Adios and all that. Bye bye.